Alright, so now that we've talked about what it means to be proportional, and we've found the constant of proportionality using equations and using graphs, we're just going to kind of continue doing some practice here with proportionality and constant of proportionality. So in example 3 it says, refer to the information displayed in the table. There are students in class S, 5, 18, and 21, and then there's the number of donuts consumed, 10, 36, and 42. The first thing it asks us to do is find the constant of proportionality, or find K. And it gives us a hint, set up the ratios and then divide. Y over X. Which is Y and which is X? Well, in this case, students is X and donuts consumed is Y. Whenever we have a table, we always go in alphabetical order, X then Y. And so in this case, we've got 10 over 5, which reduces to 2 over 1 or 2. 36 over 18, when I divide, I get 2. And 42 over 21, which when I divide, I get 2. So it doesn't matter which set we use. If this is a proportional relationship, every time we do y divided by x, we get the same number. And that number is what we call our constant of proportionality. So k in this case is equal to 2. So then it says write an equation to model the situation, but use the variables given. So they want us to write y equals, in this case k is 2x. But they want us, instead of using x and y, to use the numbers that they gave us. So s will be in place of x. So we would have 2s is equal to, and instead of y, we would have d for donuts. So the number of donuts is equal to 2 times the letter s. And if we wrote it y equals kx, we could start this way and then go, oh, well, d is supposed to be plugged in for y, and s is supposed to be plugged in for s, and that's how we get from this equation to this equation where we use d and s. So then use your equation to determine how many donuts 25 students would eat. In this case, we know that we have 25 students, so we can plug that into our equation. Y equals 2 times 25 students, because S represents students. And in this case, Y is equal to 50 donuts, or in this, it really should be D here. D for donuts. D is equal to 50, and so this is 50 donuts. We can recognize that our constant of proportionality relates to unit rate in this next question, because it says how many donuts will one kid eat? And we know that one kid will eat, if we have donuts over students, or D over S, that's very similar to Y over X, like our constant of proportionality. We get 2 donuts for every 1 student. When we simplify y over x, we get 2 over 1. And so what that's telling us is that 2 over 1 is 2 donuts per student. So as our unit rate, we could write it as a fraction, or we could write it using word, 2 donuts per student. So then explain how the constant of proportionality is related to the unit rate. Well, they're the same. Our constant of proportionality was 2. Our unit rate was 2 over 1. Those two things are equal. They are the same. So example 3 represents a proportional relationship. If we were to graph these points on a graph, they would be a straight line that go through the origin. We also recognize that when there are 0 students in class, 0 donuts will be consumed. So that represents the origin part. And then we have a common constant of proportionality. Every time we do y divided by x, we get 2, which means there are 2 donuts for every 1 student. And this is a proportional relationship.